The Duval Rundown, driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, home of the lifetime warranty.
Good morning, gobble, gobble, gobble. Welcome to Duval Rundown. Hope you're getting ready for a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hayes Carline here. Please be joined as always with Times Union Sports columnist Ryan O'Halloran. Ryan, good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, Hayes, how we doing, buddy? Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. That was obviously quite a win in Arizona for the Jaguars. Lots to break down from it, and certainly want to peek ahead to this Titans matchup. But before we do that, just what were your takeaways? Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, very mistake prone, did make enough plays at the end for the Jaguars to get the win. But what did you think? How big was the win for the Jaguars, and what were some of your takeaways from it?
Yeah, it was a critical win. To stay in that hunt because it's getting clogged up in that AFC wildcard race. But more importantly, you knew the Colts lost early when you kicked off your game. Yet you won, so now you're a game behind with 2 meetings left. As far as the takeaways go, let's start on defense with 6 sacks. You've sort of been waiting for this pass rush to get going all year. They have in the last 2 games, and I thought they gave up a lot of yards, but that's just the way Arizona plays. They gave up really 2 big plays maybe. I thought they tackled well in addition to putting pressure on Brissett. And then on offense, Trevor Lawrence, the Jaguars won the game in spite of him. And, people are saying, well, he had a game-winning drive. He made plays at the end. Well, because he had to, because he dug them that hole.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is a matchup against Tennessee, and talking about Trevor Lawrence where, the numbers have to get better. I mean, it's just not realistic to have a quarterback who's 25th out of 27 players that qualify for passer rating, which is 306 minimum attempts. And, he's 25th out of 27. He's ahead of Joe Flacco and Cam Ward, who obviously the Jags will play Sunday. I mean, guys like Geno Smith, Spencer Rattler, and Justin Fields are ahead of him. I mean, it's just not sustainable. Like, this is great. It's great that they're winning. It's great that they're overcoming it. And he has done some good things. But this is one of those things where it's like, well, soak it up, because if he doesn't, and he could take a step. No one is saying that he can't improve. But the point is, he's got to start improving, or this will be fleeting. You just can't survive. I don't care how good of a coach Liam Cohen is, and I think he's a very good coach from what we've seen so far. But it will be fleeting success if Trevor Lawrence can't become a more efficient and a quarterback that doesn't perpetually turn the ball over like he does. I mean, he's 14 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's just not good enough in 2025 in the NFL. It's great the team is winning, and that's wonderful. But it's not going to continue if he doesn't improve.
Yeah, a team winning with a -4 turnover differential, you probably get one rabbit out of that hat every couple of years. Well, this was the Jaguars one, so they're cheating fate on this one. With Lawrence I say this to Jaguar fans, is winning, do you just want to win the game, or do you actually want to go places? I mean, is it okay to be 8-9? Yeah, you won the game, but this team should be thinking about bigger things than just making the playoffs. I think they could win a playoff game on the road. If they host a game, they could win a playoff game, but not if the quarterback's playing like this. And, they're not challenging teams downfield at all. I thought I saw hesitancy on a lot of those mistakes. So it's time for him to really respond. And because this team does have a shot to do something good in January, I think he's got to be better, period.
Absolutely. And as we get to Sunday's matchup in Nashville against the Tennessee Titans, this is a prime opportunity for Trevor Lawrence. You look at what the opponents have done at the quarterback position against Tennessee this year. And their Tennessee to opposing quarterbacks this year, they're allowing 69.9% completion. Well, that's good to see if your quarterback's 10 points below that. 69.9% completion. They've given up 17 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions, passer rating of 103.8. So this should be a game where if you need to rely on the passing game, you'd like to think that it matches up favorably for you. Now, obviously, the ground game is their identity, and it should be their identity going into this game. What are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence in terms of this matchup before we get to the Jaguars' run game against the Titans?
Yeah, I think if you're Liam Cohen, you want to be able to call some openers against Tennessee that can get your quarterback into a rhythm, get him feeling good about himself. And then you mentioned those statistics for the Titans defense. If I'm the Jaguars, I come out, if the weather cooperates, I come out chucking it, get a lead. That allows your pass rush to crank up. We'll get to that in a second, but also allows you to do the run game and just sort of get out of there on a, it could be a cold, rainy day, get the division road win. Do not give the Titans any hope. They've played some one-score games here in the last month or so. They're not very good, but if they go into halftime in the game, they should think they're going to win. They're going to find a way. So if I'm the Jaguars, don't give Tennessee any hope. Come out and dictate the terms of the game early.
I am excited to see how this team will fare in bad weather for the first time. I think Liam Cohen catches a little bit of a break here because I think it's nice for your first game in conditions to be against the worst team in the NFL, which is what the Titans are. If you look at point differential, and it's not even close, they're minus 136 in terms of point differential. The next worst team in the NFL is minus 112. So they're 24 points worse than any other team in the league. So they're pretty clearly the worst team in football. If the 1-10 record didn't give it away, certainly the point differential does. So I think if you're Liam Cohen, you're kind of catching a break because you're going to get to see how your team responds against a poor opponent. And it's going to be nasty. I mean, unless the forecast changes, you're talking about high of 46 and 85% chance of rain throughout the day. So, I don't know about wind and things like that, but it certainly would set up for, a game that could be similar if this team doesn't win the AFC South and you're going on the road to New England or to Denver, something like that early in the playoffs. Maybe it's, Baltimore. But I think it's good for Liam Cohen to get a sense of how his team plays in weather like this, and the fact that obviously you're not playing a great team for your first time in bad weather. You're playing the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, I thought Travis Etienne's been great this year. I looked up some of his numbers yesterday, 816 yards, so he's top 10 in rushing. He's top 15 in carries. He has 20-plus catches. You look at this free agent running back class, potentially it's him, it's Javonte Williams from Dallas, it's Rico Dowdell from Carolina, it's Breece Hall from the Jets. So there is going to be a running back market. And I think Etienne is showing the Jaguars that, hey, I'm probably not going to get a James Cook type deal, but maybe it makes more sense to re-sign Etienne than start over with Tootin and Allen and then another rookie. Those are conversations for down the road, but I think this needs to be a big Etienne game. And see if you can run it 35 times to the team and just sort of take the air out of the football a little bit.
And that's really become the Jaguar identity, and it is covering a lot of flaws in the team. But it's a basic tenet of football. I mean, if you can run and you can stop the run, then that puts you on a nice path to winning. And you look at what the Jaguars are doing statistically. I mean, you got to give Liam Cohen and his staff credit. I mean, they're 8th offensively running the ball in this league, so they're top quadrant in the NFL in running the football. And they've got the best defense in stopping the run in the NFL now. They're only allowing 83.8 yards a game. So, again, it's an old school formula, but it's one that's never going to completely go out of style at any level of football. And again, this would be a matchup you would think where the Jaguars can keep that run momentum going. And I don't see anything that the Titans offer up that leads me to believe that the run defense is going to get gouged.
No, and the key for the Jaguar defense is the first and second down run game. because when Cam Ward drops the pass, he's been sacked 45 times this year. That's 4 more than any other team has allowed. And so, this is what you want to draw it up for the Jaguars on defense. Is you continue to play the run well, put them in obvious pass situations like Arizona was last week. They lived on 3rd and long. That allows Campanile to do some stuff with his pressure, or if he wants to play coverage, cloud the picture for the rookie quarterback, who I think is going to be okay. He's just in a bad spot right now. So that's, to me, that would be the key for this Jaguar defense. Is you got 10, 11 sacks in the last 2 games. See if you can keep that going.
Absolutely. Jacob Simon's helping us out on Duval Rundown. Jacob, we always appreciate your help. Let's say hello to our sponsor, please.
I'm Rick Ballou, Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, proud partner of the Jaguars. Drive with confidence. Every new vehicle comes with our exclusive lifetime warranty. 7030 Commonwealth Avenue or online at jackswest.com.
Ryan, is there anybody outside of Cam Ward, anybody on the Titans roster that particularly concerns you in this matchup?
Jeffrey Simmons is always a good player. But I'll go on offense. They're not even averaging 4 yards a carry. No.
Their leading receiver, that's the thing. It's hard to even find something that worries you, because their leading receiver is Chiga Okonkwo, the tight end, who, if you ranked 1 through 32 tight ends in the NFL, he'd be in the 20s and maybe in the back part of the 20s. He's just not. He's a relatively young player, but he leads them in receptions with 35 and receiving yards at 377. He's yet to score a touchdown. Honestly, one of the more unique elements of this game is both teams have an elite punt returner. You don't often see that, but obviously the Jaguars' Parker Washington has been marvelous. Both as a receiver and a punt returner. He's already taken 2 returns back for touchdowns. He's averaging 17.2 yards a punt return. Now you look at Titans rookie Chim Dike, and he's been sensational. He's got 12 punt returns for 285 yards, a 23.8 yard average, and 2 touchdowns. So you don't often see a game in which each team has an elite punt returner, but we have it in this one. So I would imagine that, that's not often an element of the game that we talk a lot about. But I would imagine, when Liam Cohen meets with reporters in an hour, that's going to be a big talking point, is, limiting the damage DK can do as a punt returner.
Yeah, and you look at the Titans' overall numbers. Defense, they're middle of the road in a bunch of stuff, but they've probably been put in so many bad positions that their numbers are probably skewed a little bit. Offensively,
and there's also probably been games where teams are just sort of running the ball to kill the clock late. So some of their numbers also could be positively skewed in the sense that, teams aren't really having to chunk the ball all over the field in the fourth quarter because they've already built a sizable lead on Tennessee.
Yeah, and offensively, they're just terrible.
Yeah.
They are just 31st, 32nd. And then, 2 big stats for me. They've scored 11 offensive touchdowns this year. They've given up 33. So if you're the Jaguars, maybe you circle around Nashville for like 3 hours to make it feel like a West Coast flight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You land in Nashville. You play the game. You come home. You get on that bus. Never been on that bus. And then get on the plane and you fly home for 2 home games in a row. So that's that to me, it's go up there, take care of business, protect the football better, quarterback, and then see if you can create a couple turnovers as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. If the Jaguars win the game, and I think we both expect that they will, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you've got the Jaguars winning Sunday, right?
Yeah, Jaguars will win.
Yeah. So now you're 8-4. What do you think how is this going to play out? Where do you think ultimately the season ends for the Jaguars? Do you think they can win this division? And if not, where do you think the record will be, and what do you think their playoff fate will be?
Well, I thought beating Arizona, it would be at 7-4 now with the schedule they have coming up. If the Jaguars don't make the playoffs, it would be a big disappointment.
Yeah.
And so if they're able to win at Tennessee and go 8-4, and you have 3 of your last 5 at home, okay, I think minimum you should get to 10, which will get you in, I believe. But now if you're 11, maybe you're the 5 seed and you're going to Baltimore. I don't like that matchup. Maybe you want to be the 6 or 7 and go somewhere else. So I do think they're headed in the right direction, but you have to win these AFC road games because this is going to probably come down to some conference record stuff. So critical game. If I was a Jaguar person right now, I wouldn't really care about the Colts just yet because you got to take care of the business at hand. You know what's coming up. You'll face them next week, but give yourself a little bit of a cushion here with an 8-4 record.
Who do you think wins between the Texans going to the Colts on Sunday?
I'm going to pick the Texans because I just think their pass rush is on such a roll.
It's unreal.
You got to stick with Davis Mills. He's the hot hand. He's not getting you into a lot of trouble. And so I thought the Colts, that was a bad loss against Kansas City. You're up 20-9, you're in control. It wasn't the collapse of Jaguars Texans.
Yeah.
But it was similar in the fact that the Colts had multiple opportunities to just get a first down and run the clock. But so I think there may be some scar tissue there. We've talked about it. I think you talked about it on the radio on Monday. You look at the Colts schedule. If they lose the Texans, will they even make the playoffs?
Their last 6 games, 2-4, is very much on the table. I don't think the Texans and Jaguars will sweep them. My guess is they'll split those games. But they could absolutely lose at Seattle. They'll be expected to lose at Seattle. And I think you can make a case that a lot of people would pick San Francisco to beat the Colts in Indianapolis. So they could absolutely finish 2-4 in their – it could be 0-6. I don't think it will be. But all 6 of them are losable games. That's what to me, you look at what each team has, the Jaguars and Colts, and yeah, the Jaguars are a game back, but I think even if they just split with the Colts, they're going to win the division because, again, the Jaguars still have 2 against the Titans and a game against the Jets. And that's a 3-game swing, what could be a 3-game swing, assuming Seattle, San Francisco, and Houston, do some damage against Indianapolis.
Yeah, and, it's 10 – you're probably the 5, 6, or the 7. I don't think 10 wins would get you to division. I don't think so. But I think the Jaguars, if they win this game, they'll be 4-2 on the road. We covered a couple of road seasons where they didn't win a road game at all.
Yeah.
Well, that they should not, with the way they play, they should be confident when they go on the road in the playoffs. But it always would be a bonus to have that first game at home because you could be playing a team that is banged. You may get the Chargers again for all we know. You may get a team that had to race to the finish line just to get in and is totally banged up. So, obviously the division would be the first priority, but I think they're in now, but they really solidify their spot if they take care of business on Sunday in Tennessee.
Yeah, without a doubt. Great stuff, Ryan. We certainly appreciate it. Tell us what's coming up in Jacksonville.com.
Yeah, interesting publication schedule. So I've filed my Friday column already, and it's about I asked Cohn, Udinski, and Campanile some Thanksgiving memories, so they were good about that. Saturday with the notes column, I have a couple Jaguar items in there about how they're not challenging teams down the field, but also have Florida State. 14 combined losses for these 2 teams coming into this game. You go back some years, they had 2 losses combined.
And they're keeping a bad coach, and Florida can't find a coach, so it's great. Wonderful.
I have a bunch of thoughts on that. And real quick it's bad that we don't know what Florida's plan B is. And it's bad that you don't see management at Florida trying to massage the message saying, hey, but if we don't get Lane Kiffin, we're still on the right track to get somebody. They got every possible egg in that basket.
Yeah, it's a good thing they hired a search firm. But anyway, so all right, well, great stuff. We certainly appreciate your.
I got to do something to cheer you up. Florida State stinks.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the game goes on Saturday. Still playing for a lot of pride, and we'll see if which school can go out on a positive note. to wrap the regular season. But that's going to do it for us. We certainly appreciate it. Brian, have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful trip to Nashville. And we'll look forward to catching up with you on next Wednesday. And so for Duval Rundown, we're not going to have a Friday show. The station is off that day. So everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving. We will be back on Monday when Frank Frangie will join us in his usual spot. And hopefully we will be breaking down another Jaguars victory. Until then, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching Duval Rundown. And we'll look forward to catching up with you next time. Thanks so much.